Orchestrating a brighter world, NEC.
Today, we are going to launch a major display innovation, as we are pushing the limits of display intelligence to a new level. And how and why does this innovation has the power to surprise? Because we believe that display and intelligence, the words I've been just mentioning before, have never been combined in a more powerful and smarter way before. Because we believe that presenting, streaming, signage, and running all other applications on a display has never been simpler before. We believe that tailor-made and modular solutions are the future of our industry to fulfill all the different customer requirements. We believe that this new solution is providing a brilliant share between performance and investment in order to have the perfect solution for our customers. And we also believe that there's a huge community of developers out there which is just waiting in order to start developing on a complete system. But before I go into further detail, I'd first like to welcome all of you to the NEC Display Trends Forum 2016 in beautiful Rome. And this is the time when our highly engaged audience is clapping their hands, welcoming our online guests and saying hello to our online streamers. Absolutely, that's brilliant. Yes, this is what we need, engagement. The Display Trends Forum is a 2-day conference where experts from the display industry meet and discuss the future trends of the industry. And we kept this one very secret to the end of this very first day in order to allow all the people online to join our Display Trends Forum and to get this news firsthand. Let me offer a brief introduction to NEC Display Solutions, as there are many people tuning in today that are not familiar with NEC so far and newly attracted by NEC. NEC is a multinational provider of ICT services and products based in Japan with a history of 100 years. And one of my favorite products are optical submarine cables that are connecting computing devices all around the world, creating a crazy little thing called the internet. And this is why streaming online is possible today. NEC Display Solutions is bringing information to life while providing the widest solutions portfolio, be it desktop monitors, large format displays, projectors from classroom to cinemas, or LED modules for in and outdoor use. Everything we are doing is focused on the best visual experience, shaped to your specific needs. We provide tailor-made display solutions globally, no matter which scale or technology. This truly provides bright choices to you. And we are so pleased that our efforts are appreciated by the industry and by the customers. This has been awarded and made official by awarding NEC Display Solutions as an AV Manufacturer of the Year just last week in London. Congratulations. And while discussing future trends in the display industry, it's impossible to ignore the growing importance of large format displays, as their use in presentation and digital signage is heavily growing. And if we are really honest, there's only one fundamental requirement for all display applications. The message has to be clearly received by the audience. And what might sound quite easy or logic in the first step requires attention to many details. And NEC Display Solutions is paying attention to these details since more than 15 years now. And we are very happy to announce today the launch of our most powerful large format display series, the new P and V series. The slim yet modern design allows perfect integration wherever the display integration seamlessly has to fit into the architecture, while driving performance, reliability, and ease of use to a new level. Our flexible approach of adding intelligence to the display is what makes us truly unique. And we call it open modular intelligence, a term you will hear a lot about in the near future. NEC started this journey more than 10 years ago when adding embedded and seamlessly integrated computing intelligence to its displays in 2010. And we continued this journey. Our slot-in PCs have been developed to an international industry standard called OPS. In 2014, we widened the ranges of application by adding an Android-based Signage player to our portfolio. And this means for us, modularity is key, because there's no single or no standard or built-in solution in the market that can cover all the different requirements from the markets. But modularity can, and this is why we are focusing on it. But the development does not stop here. A few years ago, some very smart people in the UK recognized that the world of computer science was not progressing and the amount of programming was reducing. These clever people invented a solution to promote the teaching of basic computer science in school and developing countries, whilst bringing the cost to a newly developed, unimaginable level at that time. In the meantime, this company developed the third generation of the world's most sold mini computer and created the compute module, which is a perfect fit into our modular display concept. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy and proud to introduce to you the most exciting corporation in the display industry this year. It's a huge pleasure for me to announce that the new NEC Display Series is seamlessly embedding and hosting Raspberry Pi compute modules. Also, this is worth an applause. Our open modular intelligence concept includes an option slot for Raspberry Pi compute modules and add a new level of display intelligence to all of our new screens. As the Internet of Things emerges, this will open up new, tremendous opportunities within exciting possibilities. There will also be new applications for Raspberry Pi users that are now enjoying a completely seamless integrated display solution. And there's no one else in this world that could better explain what Raspberry Pi can do for the display industry, for you, what Raspberry Pi is all about, and what we can expect from Raspberry Pi in the future. Please join me in welcoming the CEO and founder of Raspberry Pi. It's Upton.
Hi, my name is Upton, and I'm one of the founders of Raspberry Pi. When we started Raspberry Pi back in 2008, we had a very simple idea, and that was that we wanted to give children this decade an opportunity to get excited about computers in the same way that many of us were excited about our 8-bit microcomputers back in the 1980s. We had the idea that if we could build a piece of programmable hardware, we could build a device that could go into a child's bedroom, something which was cheap, something which was powerful, something which was programmable, and most importantly, something that was fun, a platform that a child would want to engage with, that could play videos, that could play games, they could use to go on the internet, but that also came bundled with every programming tool under the sun. Then perhaps we could rekindle a little bit of that spark of excitement. and do something in the first instance about our recruitment problems at the university here in Cambridge, but maybe kind of start some sort of revolution among children, some sort of surge of enthusiasm for computing. Now, we launched Raspberry Pi in 2012. We sold 100,000 Raspberry Pis on our first day and 1 million in the first year. We've had this amazing ride, and we've seen Raspberry Pi used not just in the UK, but all around the world. We've seen it used by children, we've seen it used by educators, we've seen it used by adult hobbyists, and increasingly we've seen it used in industry as a platform for industrial computing. It's been an amazing journey for us, and it's allowed us to do things in the education and on the charitable side, which we never would have imagined. We've got to a point now where it's possible to buy a Raspberry Pi in over 100 countries around the world, very, very widely distributed. We've gone through 3 generations of Raspberry Pi hardware. We started with Raspberry Pi 1 back in 2012, which had 1/4 gigabyte of RAM and a single-core 700 MHz processor. And in February this year, on the 4th anniversary of the launch, we were able to launch Raspberry Pi 3, which has a quad-core 64-bit 1.2 GHz processor and 1 GB of RAM. So we've seen this enormous increase in the performance of the platform. It's, as I say, it's found a very large number of industrial users. So Raspberry Pi was originally designed as a toy, but it's an extremely well-designed toy. People have taken it into a wide range of what we would probably consider to be mostly Internet of Things applications. So people are taking Raspberry Pis, they're embedding them into products and using them to add intelligence to what were previously dumb devices. They're also taking Raspberry Pi and placing it in factories and using it as an industrial automation platform in the same way that maybe 10 years before people would have been using small form factor PCs. To support this kind of growing industrial market for Raspberry Pi, 2 years ago we released a device which we call the Compute Module. Now that's the guts of a Raspberry Pi, the brains of a Raspberry Pi, repackaged into an SODIMM form factor. So this is traditionally a memory card form factor, with all of the signals from the core logic of the Raspberry Pi brought out to an edge connector. Now that's been extremely popular with people who want to take Raspberry Pi into sort of some different form factors from the traditional credit card sized single board Raspberry Pi computer. And so this year, shortly after the launch of Raspberry Pi 3, we announced that we were going to produce a Compute Module 3. And that updates the Compute Module platform from that 700 MHz ARM11 platform of Raspberry Pi 1 to the more modern quad-core 64-bit design. Now, this opens up, obviously, as you can imagine, an entire range of new applications. And one of the most exciting ones for us is the application we're talking about today. We've been working with NEC for over a year now to develop the ability to place a Raspberry Pi compute module, either a Compute Module 1 or a Compute Module 3, inside an NEC display. And that's today's announcement. Not only will you be able to place a baseline Raspberry Pi compute module inside an NEC display, but NEC have been working with our partners at Premier Farnell to develop an enhanced memory version of this device. So the traditional compute module ships with 4 GB of eMMC memory for storage, and the NEC version will ship with 16 GB, providing much more space for applications and data. Now, we think that the NEC large format displays using the Raspberry Pi compute module will be suitable for a very, very broad range of applications. Obviously, digital signage applications we expect are going to be the backbone of that, but there are also opportunities in interactive presentations, and I think a broad range of IoT. I think that the ability to have an intelligent display with Raspberry Pi at its heart will tie in very nicely with some of the other IoT, some of the other sort of back-end IoT work that we've been doing at Raspberry Pi. The advantage of putting a Raspberry Pi compute module socket into a display is obviously that it's possible to upgrade the platform. In future years, we very much hope that we will continue to release generations of compute module hardware, and we've made a commitment that all of those will be form factor and electrically compatible with the compute module that we have today. This is a fantastic open platform, and I really think it's something that we could only really have done with NEC. When NEC approached us about 18 months ago, we were very excited to hear from a large manufacturer of display devices who was interested in integrating the technology, but we were also interested in the open approach that NEC have taken for a long time to innovation around their large format display platforms. So the future's pretty bright. I'm looking forward to seeing what people do with the Raspberry Pi compute module and NEC large format displays. As I say, we're very committed to this platform. You know, we believe that Raspberry Pis will be selling Raspberry Pis in 10 years' time that will dwarf the performance of the device that we're launching today. So very much looking forward to it. Thank you very much for your time.
As you can see, the future is bright, and if there are any further questions in this room towards the new NEC Display Solutions, our new display series, or towards Raspberry Pi, this is your time now.
Thomas, thank you very much. It was a lovely presentation, and thank you to Eben as well for giving us a good, clear understanding of how long you've been working with, or how long they've been working with you. 18 months, I think he said. A couple of things then. So OMI is what you sort of called it, and it stands for Open and Modular Intelligence.
Yes.
Most people will probably think the I may stand for something else, but I like the intelligence bit. Would you say it's fair in describing Open Modular Intelligence, OMI, as something that sits above OPS in a way and the Raspberry Pi slot-in module?
Absolutely. OMI describes our umbrella theme. We want to be open, we want to deliver a modular approach, and we want to allow that every customer can get his tailor-made solutions. We don't think that the built-in, that a fixed solution has the power to serve all the different needs in the market, and this is why we think modularity is key.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got quite a few questions here because it's quite an interesting announcement from you guys and totally unexpected, I think, into the market. Although Stephanie did talk about the hints on social media that I think only the super intelligent would have got, and I'm not one of them. So the new displays, the V and the P series, they effectively have three newish things. They have an integrated multimedia player, which I think was mentioned before.
Absolutely.
The interface for the Pi, but they also have an OPS slot. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we think that every application requires a different kind of performance, and this is why we keep on having a modular approach, having OPS on the one hand side and allowing now Raspberry Pi as a second option slot in order to have a different kind of choice and also to have a different kind of solution in the market. This is perfect for differentiation.
Okay, and there's going to be 6 different sizes. Is it fair to say for the I'm sure the AV or the editorial people in the AV world would be interested, is this something that they will be able to see at ISE in Amsterdam in February, do you think?
That's we are going to launch the new products. So we will launch the new V and P series from January onwards, and we will start with a 40-inch, 48 and 55-inch display from January onwards, and then we will move up to the 98-inch display, which will be the largest one, by adding 6 different sizes in the complete portfolio. Okay,
and sorry, I'm going to go on a little bit here. Eben also mentioned nicely, I think, that the compute module will be forward compatible. I think he said there was a guarantee there that the future Pi 3s, or whatever they're called, 4s and 5s, will be future compatible with your stuff. What about the OPS slot stuff? The PCs that go into the OPS now, you'll continue to support those, and will they progress as well? Will there be future announcements about OPS?
Absolutely. So what we need is continuity. We need to ensure that the customer that is investing today is not losing his money tomorrow. And if he would change our standard or our player or our components every time, every day, every month, this would become impossible in order to provide a good return on investment with a display investment. And this is why we stay for a very stable strategy. And OPS on the one hand side and a very standardized Raspberry Pi compute module form factor will remain for a long time in our displays.
Okay, only 2 more questions, I promise. So the NEC version, Eben mentioned there was an NEC specific version of the Pi 3 compute module, and I think he said that it had 16 gig of RAM. Is that
That's
the
right.
only difference between the Pi 3 compute module that you can buy now and the one that you will ship?
Yes, so I think important for everyone to know is that the compute module which we can put in our displays is the standard Raspberry Pi compute module that you can get more or less everywhere. And for NEC, we will provide, let's call it digital signage optimized version with an enhanced performance and storage capacity in order to serve the higher demands of digital signage applications.
Okay, thank you. And I do promise my last question. Retail is obviously a typical vertical sector that this will go down well in, I would have thought.
Absolutely.
Is there any other vertical sectors that you think would really pick up on this?
I guess that it will become relevant for all sectors. We divide our business into 13 vertical markets, and I don't see any where computing intelligence is not needed. So we need it everywhere, and I see, for instance, that education, a segment where Raspberry Pi is very strong from their approach, where NEC is very strong from educational projecting systems. I think this will be a perfect match. We just saw that in terms of transportation and aviation, all the major flight information system providers are already developing a solution on Raspberry Pi, and this is why we are happy that so many Raspberry Pi developers inside our community are already there, but we are also welcoming all the new developers that now get access to a Raspberry Pi display from now on.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions? If not, thank you very much for joining the NEC live stream and have a great evening. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Orchestrating a brighter world. NEC.